MMA locker room here. Who's ready to bet on UFC? Me, that's who. So I'm back. Pick Dawgz here. We're about to go through this whole UFC 296 card, folks. I mean, it's stacked. 2 title fights on there to talk about. Covington versus Leon Edwards. Pantoja versus Royval. Man, we got some fights to talk about. But before we do that, man, let us know, what fights are you guys most looking forward to on this fight card, man? And hey, have you guys been at any live events? If so, let me know in the comments below. I've been to a couple of shows, here and there. My first one was, who was it? Cain Velasquez versus Brock Lesnar, man. That was my first ever one, man. Tito Ortiz was on the card, Diego Sanchez, some other people. But hey, all right, how'd you guys do last week on your UFC betting? All right, man, we did decent in here, man. Couldn't predict how one big favorite lost on the card, right? That's usually how it goes, though. So that's why it's always smart to pay attention and look for the dogs. All right, now look, man, we got a lot of fights to talk about. We got one fight that got canceled. So hey, let's get started on the first one, okay? First one's going to be taking place in the welterweight division, okay? This fight's going to be taking place at the UFC in Vegas. So early prelims starting around 3 p.m. Pacific for you guys. Randy Brown steps in, 17 wins, 5 losses, going to be taking on Muslim Salikov, 19 wins, 4 losses. The betting line says Randy Brown is a -260 favorite in this one. Randy Brown is going to be the longer fight out there. He's going to have a way stronger jab out there. This is the thing, though. His tools in his toolbox, he can put them on display when he wants. Why? Because Muslim Salikov is a guy that likes to stand in front of you and counter you a lot, okay? So he has a lot of good striking in him as well, but he can mix in the takedowns, and that's where I think this fight's gonna come into play. Muslim Salikov, aka the Master of Kung Fu. He's a guy that gets disrespected by the booksmaker, folks. 19-4. I mean, every single time I bet on him, he won except for once. He's a guy to where I think he's going to take Randy Brown down to the ground and make this a whole different fight that people was expecting. Ho, ho, ho. The dog's out the cage in this one, man. Give me Muslim Salikov, man. Randy Brown's a fighter to where whenever he gets bet up to a favorite like this, sometimes he drops that ball, and there's no reason why he should be a -260 favorite. He opened up at a -280, so money is coming in on Muslim. I'm going to say it like this, man. I like the dog in this one. I'm going to start it off on that. Next fight taking place. Okay, big boys, heavyweight. Martin Buday, 13-1, taking on Shamil Gaziev, 11-0. All right, let you guys know the betting lines. You got Martin Buday at a -145 out there. You can get the comeback on Shamil Gaziev anywhere from +115 to a +120. Okay, Martin Buday, I seen him fight live when he fought Bresky. It was a fight where we had money on him, we won. He was a -180, I think, or a -160 favorite. He got the job done by the decision in there. He can mix in the takedowns when he wants. He's undefeated in the UFC. He hasn't fought the best competition. Shamil Gaziev made his UFC debut on the Contender Series. He's a guy that packs a lot of punch, a lot of power in it at that, first round. But after that first round, he gasses out, folks. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. Shamil Gaziev, I think he's a fraud, man. I like Martin Buday to get the job done in this one, man. Give me Martin Buday, -140. Next fight on the card taking place, 145 in the featherweight division. Andre Fili, 22 wins, 10 losses, taking on Lucas Almeida, 14 wins, 2 losses. Andre Fili's roughly around a -170 out there on the books. He's a guy that alpha male product that hasn't been able to put it all together in his fights, man. You think he's going to mix in the takedowns, and he don't. You think he's going to strike and be smart, but he won't. Sometimes you just can't trust Andre Fili, man. I seen him fight live too, as well. And I think he dropped the ball in that fight as a big favorite, I want to say. Lucas Almeida, though, on the other side, him made his debut against Mike Trezano, got the job done in there, but then lost against Pat Sabatini, and I forgot who else. But the last fight that he fought against Pat Sabatini exposed his weaknesses. Pat Sabatini just held him down to the ground, wasn't able to do anything. Lucas Almeida lost that way, but Lucas Almeida is an explosive fighter. This is the path of victory for him. He's going to try to finish you. Andre Fili's just going to go out there and see what happens with the fight. So you got a dangerous fighter in Lucas Almeida that's going out there, and if it's on the ground, he's going to put everything into it and try to finish you, compared to Andre Fili, who's been getting knocked out as of late, and has been dropping the ball as a big favorite. Which way you guys thinking I'm going to go? Because I really don't know in this one, man. I'm going back and forth. But I think the game plan is there. Andre Fili should be able to take down Lucas Almeida, seeing what happened to him in his last fight against Sabatini. I think Andre Fili gets the job done in that one. But if you guys are looking for a dog who's going to be explosive and try to finish, I don't know, man. I don't know. How am I saying Fili? Fili's been not looking good at all. Nah, man. Best bet, fight not going the distance. And I'm switching my pick, man. Lucas Almeida, I think, is going to get it done, man. I seen Andre Fili get knocked out too many times as of late. Yeah, man. Lucas Almeida gets it done. Next fight taking place. This was a banger, though, man. I like this one. Flyweight division. Tagir Alimbekov, 14 wins, 2 losses. Representing Dagestan, Russia. Taking on Cody Durden, 16-4-1. Representing Atlanta, Georgia, California, USA. All right, man. Good fight, man. Tagir Alimbekov, though, he's coming on a layoff. 1.5 years, I think. Since we seen him last time in the cage. And when we did, he got the job done over Nate Maness, okay? Choked him out, subbed him out, took his back. But before that, he was coming off a loss, I want to say, against Tim Elliott in the fight to where it's going back and forth. Cody Durden on the other side, man, this guy's been putting together a nice little win victory streak, man. I think he's like 3-0 in his last 3 fights, training over the American top team, putting in those hours and putting in those works, training with the top fighters in the world. Man, he's been upsetting a lot of people out there, and he's been a dog in a lot of these fights. Tagir Alimbekov is the favorite in this one. Open up a -170, -165. That's where he's sitting at. To come back on Cody Durden, shop around for the best line. I think Cody Durden is going to get this one done, folks. Cody Durden is a game fighter, man. If you're out there trying to fight with him, he's not backing down. He's a good chain wrestler. He has, I think over 50 takedowns in the UFC. He sets him up a little bit better now with the strikings. Before, you already knew what was going to happen. Great cardio. He could push the output. Tagir Alimbekov, same thing, though, man. He's a wrestler, grappler, likes to get you down. He's deadly with the submission. So this is the thing I'm scared about. Cody Durden puts his neck in vulnerable spots. I think Cody Durden, I've seen him get subbed out once, maybe twice, but I could be wrong. Once for sure. That's the only way, not the only way, but that's the way I think Tagir Alimbekov could win is, by subbing him out real quick, or not even real quick, but I think Cody Durden gets this one done. I like this one, man. The dog's out the cage in this one. Give me Cody Durden. Next fight taking place in the light heavyweight division. Dustin Jacoby, 19 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. Taking on Alonzo Manfield, 14 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. Dustin Jacoby's the big favorite on this one. -240, -220, I want to say. His last couple of fights out, it's been going win, loss, back and forth type of scenario, okay? He got the win over Kennedy and Njoku. Before that, he's coming off of 2 losses, 1 to Khalil Roundtree and 1 to Asmat Mirzakov. Alonzo Manfield, though, man. So this guy, I seen this guy fight on the local promotion LFA when my boy was headlining it, and he knocked the guy out in the 2nd round, and everybody in the UFC was coming there to see him. So I've been following this guy for a long time, Alonzo Manfield. But let's get down to it, man. He switched up his camps, been over there with Pat Barry now for the last 3 fights, man. He's looking good, man. Got some wins over Askar Murzarov, Mershov Serkinov, and Jimmy Crute. I think this one's not going the distance, folks. That's going to be my best bet. Dustin Jacoby's a technical kickboxer, so he's going to be out there striking you up with those type of things. Alonzo Manfield's trying to lay your lights out when he can, but Alonzo Manfield could also mix in the wrestling. But if he does, sometimes he gets tired real quick, and when he gets tired real quick, he goes into just throwing one punch, and it's not always the sound thing. I think Dustin Jacoby wins by KO. I think he's going to be able to get Alonzo Manfield out. Yep. Next fight on the card. This one's a banger taking place in the women's flyweight division. Okay, first women's fight on the card. Ariana Lipski, 16 wins. How many losses? 8 or 6? 8. Taking on Casey O'Neill, 9 wins, 1 loss. Casey O'Neill's the favorite on here. Opened up at a minus 160, got bet up to a minus 200 favorite on there. Ariana Lipski, she's been looking good in her last couple of fights. She's won money from me twice. She's been big underdogs in her fights, and I bet on her and she cashed. She's been turning around her striking, training over there at American Top Team too. You know, she has a real long frame. Power whenever she's striking is what she's going to throw at you. She's a girl that's going out there to finish you when she can, but she's been winning by decision as of late, pulling off some good wins and good upsets. It's going to be striker versus striker in this fight. She's going to have ways to win, you know, by countering. If Casey O'Neill, you know, is not aware of that, then that would be like her path to victory, because when she punches, it's going to be with power. Casey O'Neill on the other side, though, man. This fight is something dangerous, man. Something real, something serious, man. All right, 9-1. Coming off her first loss against Jennifer Maia, she's looking to bounce back right now. Had another fight scheduled, couldn't take that. Was dealing with some injuries, dealing with some stuff like that. In that meantime, though, what she do? Work on some more stuff in the gym. Work on her striking. Work on a lot of things, okay? She's a good wrestler. She can mix in the takedowns. But she has that switch. That switch is this, man. She's in there to fight. Some girls got it, some girls don't. When some girls get hit, some quit, she won't. I'm trying to tell y'all, Casey O'Neill is the real deal. It's coming off her first loss. It's nothing. She did have a surgery before that. I think Casey O'Neill mixes in the wrestling, mixes in the takedowns, and, you know, take Ariana Lipski down. If this is just a striking match, it's going to be a lot closer on the feet, because Ariana Lipski is going to be looking to counter. Okay, but Casey O'Neill's a Muay Thai striker with great kickboxing out there. You know, she didn't put in the work, put in the time, put in the camp. Training over there at Extreme Couture, and then not even that. She even goes down there to Thailand, you know, Bang Tao, just to get her training in. So she's a real fighter, folks. She's a grappler as well, too. Ranked number 15 in the division. Could be higher, I think. Might be higher, 14, 13. I don't know. But let's go ahead, man. I think Casey O'Neill gets this one done in here. You know, if you guys want to check out an interview, check out an interview on my channel at MMA Locker Room. I got an interview with Casey O'Neill. Yeah, exclusive interview with Casey O'Neill. So if you guys want to know more about her, go ahead and check her out on there. All right, next fight taking place. We got another one that's going to be a banger for as long as it lasts. All right, Cody Garbrandt, 12 wins, 13 wins, 5 losses, taking on Brian Keller, 24 wins, 14 losses. Brian Keller was on the sideline for a while. I'm glad he's back, because he had a big surgery on his neck to where, you know, he never probably thought he might not be able to fight again. But big layoff, you know, and before that, he's coming off 2 losses, okay? Cody Garbrandt, a lot of people know the story where he became champ. Ever since that, lost his belt, hasn't been the same. Been getting knocked out, knocked out, knocked out. Brian Kelleher, man, is a guy. They call him Boom Kelleher for a reason. Cody Garbrandt's a minus 200 favorite on here. I don't really know who I can trust more, but I'm a Cody Garbrandt guy. But coming off of everything that's been happening to you, Brian Keller's going to go out there and try to boom with you, man. I think this fight doesn't go the distance. That'll be my best bet. Man, almost hurt me to say, man. I think Brian Kelleher might knock out Cody Garbrandt, folks. Damn, no love for Cody Garbrandt. No love. That's his name. But all right, man, I gotta stick to my guy, man. Let's go, Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt gets the job done in this one, man. Damn, man, if he mixes in the takedowns, though, he could get subbed. Man, Brian Kelleher is gonna be the way more dangerous fighter in here, man. I think Brian Kelleher has way more ways to win. I'm changing my pick. Brian Kelleher is going to win, man. He's bringing the boom, bro. He has a reason back to fight. I think Brian Kelleher gets it done, folks. Damn, man. The dog's out the cage. Next fight taking place. Carol Rosa, 17 wins, 5 losses, taking on Irene Aldana, 14 wins, 7 losses. Keep it short and sweet. Irene Aldana's a big favorite. I don't think she should be the favorite. I think Carl Rosa wins. Next fight taking place. Josh Emmett steps in to take on... No, not steps in, but he already had a scheduled fight, but the fighter had to pull out. 18 wins, 4 losses, taking on Bryce Mitchell, who's stepping in on short notice. 16 wins, 1 loss. We all know the story with Bryce Mitchell. Thug Nasty. Explosive wrestler out there. Great dominant grappler out there. Stepping in, he's a minus 210 favorite on there. I like fight goes the distance on there. Josh Emmett is an explosive fighter. He used to have so many fights that he won by KO. His last fight out, though, he got dropped a lot of times against a Latoporia, Bangai. Then after that, I think he lost to Yair Rodriguez, I think it was. But he's coming down on the inside of his career. I think Bryce Mitchell gets it done. Next fight taking place, Paddy Pimblett, 20 wins, 3 losses, taking on Tony Ferguson. Paddy Pimblett's a big favorite, minus 350 on here. He shouldn't be that big a favorite at all in here, but I think Paddy Pimblett gets it done, wins by decision. Next fight taking place, Shavkat Rakhmonov, minus 560 on the books is where he was at. Now he's up to a minus 700 favorite. 17 wins, undefeated. I get it. Taking on Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, 17 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw. I'm a big Shavkat Rakhmonov fan. I've been betting that guy for the last 3 years before anybody knew, getting him out low lines. Usually you play Shavkat Rakhmonov to win inside the distance, right? Of course you do. Of course. But I'm not, man. I think Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's going to win this fight, man. I think the fight IQ on him is going to have him dancing around now, striking him up, not engaging in the fight that Shavkat wants, okay? I think Stephen Thompson's going to be the quicker fighter out there. And I think he's just going to treat it like a karate match out there and just do what I need to, skate around, don't get caught, don't get into any tangles. Smart fighter, and he's good at striking too. I know I'm going against the grain. I'm going against the whole world. Give me Stephen Wonderboy Thompson to shock the world. Next fight, co-main event, Brandon Royval. Woo! Raw dog. 15-6, taking on Alexander Pantoja. 26 wins, 5 losses. Alexander Pantoja championship. Minus 175 on the books. Brandon Royval could be live, right? Of course he can, but they already fought. Pantoja won. What happens in this one? Same thing. Pantoja gets it done. Next fight, main event. Okay, Leon Rocky Edwards, 21 wins, 3 losses, taking on Colby Covington, 17 wins, 3 losses. Leon Edwards opened up a minus 110, got all the way up to a minus 160 in there. Colby Covington sat on the sideline for 1.5 years, haven't fought, hasn't done anything. I've been a Colby Covington fan, been betting him, been making money on him. I think he gets it done in there. Donald Trump's going to be in the building. I think Donald Trump's going to wrap the championship belt around his waist, and he's going to say, make America great. All right, now look, man, my best bets on this card. If you guys want to see them, head on over to Pick Dawgz. I'll have all my bets up on there, my premium picks. I'm going to be looking at different round props, different angles to attack different fights in there too. So that's what you're going to get. You know, besides that, let me know what you guys are betting on, okay? Ho, 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 Merry Christmas, okay? Hey, man, I remember back in the day opening up old wrestling packages on Christmas and stuff, the old championship belt. What's your best Christmas gift out there? Y'all remember, man. All right, Millz Young here, part of Pick Dawgz. If you can't roll with the Pick Dawgz, stay on the porch.